McCain just got on stage and did something unforgivable to Trump. Everyone's favorite RINO John McCain just can't resist taking shots at President Trump. McCain was awarded the Liberty Medal by the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia on Monday, and decided to take a swipe at the president and his America First policies in a speech shortly afterward. Although McCain did not name President Trump specifically, he crafted his words in such a way that there could be no doubt as to who he was talking about. Here's what he said, in part. To fear the world we have organized and led for 3/4 of a century, to abandon the ideals we have advanced around the globe, to refuse the obligations of international leadership and our duty to remain the last best hope of Earth for the sake of some half-baked, spurious nationalism cooked up by people who would rather find scapegoats than solve problems is as unpatriotic as an attachment to any other tired dogma of the past that Americans consigned to the ash heap of history. McCain is subtly digging at the president's focus on America First, a part of which is his withdrawal from international agreements such as the Paris Accords and his criticism of international bodies such as NATO and the UN. Criticizing international bodies is not refusing international leadership. America alone cannot do and pay for everything. Asking our allies in NATO and the UN to help and fulfill their own obligations towards promoting world peace is hardly spurious nationalism. Neither is protecting our borders or revising unfair trade deals. The kind of sideways criticism of the president in this speech is not helpful, necessary, or accurate. McCain might have been a fine senator once and served our country with distinction, but if he can only criticize, it's time for him to step aside.
Thank you, Joe, my old dear friend, for those mostly undeserved kind words. Vice President Biden and I have known each other for a lot of years now, more than 40 if you're counting. We knew each other back when we were young and handsome and smarter than everyone else, but were too modest to say so. Joe was already a senator, and I was the Navy's liaison officer to the Senate. My duties included, as he mentioned earlier, escorting Senate delegations on overseas trips, and in that capacity I supervised the delegation's luggage, which could require now and again, when no one of lower rank was available for the job, that I carry someone else's bag. Once or twice, that turned out to be the young senator from Delaware. I've resented it ever since. Joe has heard me joke about that before. I hope he has heard, too, my profession of gratitude for his friendship and love these many years. It's meant a lot to me. We served in the Senate together for over 20 years during some eventful times as we passed from young men to the fossils who appear before you this evening. We didn't always agree on the issues. We often argued, sometimes passionately, but we believed in each other's patriotism and the sincerity of each other's convictions. We believed in the institution we were privileged to serve in. We believed in our mutual responsibility to help make the place work and to cooperate in finding solutions to our country's problems. We believed in our country and in our country's indispensability to international peace and stability and to the progress of humanity. And through it all, whether we argued or agreed, Joe was good company. You all know he is good company. So thank you, old friend, for your company and your service to America. Thank you, too, to the National Constitution Center and everyone associated with it for this award. Thank you for that video and for all the too generous compliments paid to me this evening. I'm aware of the prestigious company the Liberty Medal places me in. I'm humbled by it, and I'll try my best not to prove too unworthy of it. Some years ago, I was present at an event where an earlier Liberty Medal recipient spoke about America's values and the sacrifices made for them. It was 1991, and I was attending the ceremony commemorating the 50th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. The World War II veteran, estimable patriot and good man, President George Herbert Walker Bush, gave a moving speech at the USS Arizona Memorial. I remember it very well. His voice was thick with emotion as he neared the end of his address. I imagine he was thinking not only of the brave Americans who lost their lives on December 7, 1941, but of the friends he had served with and lost in the Pacific.